right, everybody. This video, I think I'm an emotional individual because this is another get it off my chest, mother father video. But I'm merging two things. One is a good question and a good conversation with something that it frustrates me, but it's not. It's more sad than frustrating. But I had a conversation with an old college friend today on Facebook, and he was complaining about a movie that might be coming out with black actors, and he was like, how come they don't never have, a black actor? I mean, a story about a black man that was in the military, and he got woke and he came out and he addressed the situations of black people, and I'm like, that's beautiful, that you thought that, but we do have those stories, right? So today's topic is, how can we be a part of seeing what we want to see, even if we don't see it yet? And there's a lot of ways, right? I remember, I forgot his name, a black actor, right? I think he was in one of the doctor shows, right? Back in the 90s, Isaiah Washington, right? Okay. He came up with this thing called Check Your Stub. And I actually talked to him on the phone when he was out there promoting it, but this was before I had anything going on. And he only really wanted to talk about checking your ticket stub, because he was saying that if we go out and support these movies and they do well, they're going to make more movies like them, and that is correct, right? But that's not the only way, right? And he was saying that if we go to the movies, they play with our ticket stubs, part of conspiracy theorists, but there's some reality to that, because they were playing with ticket stubs up in the New York area, and they were giving you a ticket to one movie and letting you in another movie. So you would say, I want to go see The Best Man, and they give you a ticket to, a white movie, right? And that white movie does better in the box office, and the black movie that had packed houses doesn't show that it was doing that well. And so he was telling people, just check your stub, you know what I'm saying? And that was powerful, so it speaks to going to the movie theater to support your projects, right? The ones what you want to see. If you don't want to see these slave movies, then don't go see the slave movie. Go see the action movie that has it. But the problem is, you still at the second end saying, oh man, we can only support the choices, one of the choices that they give us. So if they never give us a good choice, damn, we gotta stay home. We ain't gotta enjoy nothing. So there's other solutions, right? There's other solutions. Like, we have our own filmmakers. We go to film festivals. We talk things up. We crowd fund, right? But then there's, so we crowd fund and get films made. And that's still hard, because I'm a filmmaker. I started as a filmmaker. The quality of a crowd-funded film is not the quality that many people who invest in film want to see. Spike Lee and Robert Townsend did amazing jobs. Those are some groundbreaking joints. Spike Lee did like old school crowdfunding. He went around and got people to invest and buy into his project, and he had to, because there wasn't no video camera, no digital phone films out at that time. Robert Townsend, and that was for She's Gotta Have It. And then Robert Townsend did it for oh God, I forgot the name. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. But we remember all the skits from it. But Robert Townsend's film, he did it for that. And those are beautiful things. But when we want to see another Black Panther, there's going to be a lot of money to be coming up with, millions and millions of dollars to make a Black Panther film. And then sometimes you end up with too many chefs in the kitchen, and your project can be all over the place. So there's another option. And I'm not saying don't do those, because I've used GoFundMe to film my Death Pledge movie, and it was very helpful, But what I will say is, there's other ways. Like, another way outside of supporting the movies and crowdfunding filmmakers, how about generating brands? You know, where do these stories come from? Well, you got books. There's a bunch of good movies. I would say maybe half of the movies come from books and comic books. And now we're looking at comic books that are just dominating science fiction. Golly, if you want to have a good science fiction movie, you probably have to write a comic book first. And I told my friend, I said, listen, I'm a part of a movement that's addressing these challenges in stories that you see, but I can't write everything. I can't solve I have all these different ideas. I got a secret agent, I got a dinosaur story, I got a time travel, I got a historical story, I got a story about Haiti, you name it. I got all those stories, but I can't write them all at the same time, and they all can't pop at the same time because I'm only one promotional engine. So at the end of the day, there's other people that are out here. I have friends, I would say 1,000 of my friends are from the Black comic book and Black science fiction community, and then maybe another 1,000 are fans of those. So there's over 1,000 creators, right, that's making Black comic books, that's making Black science fiction books, that's writing those. Support the genre. And whatever, you can't figure out which one you like the best if you don't read any of them. So go to a Black convention. I'm not saying just buy anything. Buy what you like to see first, right? If it's got a good cover, it's got a good title, if it got a good story. Read the back cover of a book. Buy it, read it. Then talk about it. Decide, I like this one, I don't like this one. Some are better than the others. Some are different types of genre. So do that. And then when we start supporting ourselves and we start blowing up, not only will Hollywood come running, but even the filmmakers, the writers themselves will start developing film and advancing their projects. And I'm speaking firsthand. I'm definitely one of these people. I got animation ideas that I can't afford. I got film ideas that I can't afford. The moment any of my projects blow up, they're there. Now, that sounds like common sense, but I've had cats that's close to being millionaires in green lighting positions. I've had bootleg pitch meetings. A bootleg pitch meeting is when you're talking to somebody that can't necessarily green light your picture, but they can bring it to somebody that can green light it, or they can sign on and help it get green lit, right? So I've had conversations with people in this circle, and they've said, oh man, I had one dude just say to me, Jeff, this is somebody, I put money in their pocket, right? They've said, as an entertainment agent, one of my former clients, right? They said to me, Jeff, fuck out of here. I don't read, I'm sorry. Sorry, YouTube, right? F out of here. I don't read comic books. I don't read none of that stuff. And I wanted to say, yo, my dude, to go dozens, right? My dude, right? I would say it in a more colorful way if I was in front of them and I had an audience, but I'd be like, my dude, all caps, come on, right? What do you think superhero movies come from? Where do you think they come from? What do you think a storyboard is? Comic books are storyboards. They're simplified versions of a book. Sometimes when you give a celebrity, a director, hell, anybody that's not like an agent, a book, they don't read it. They look at the cover, they may go on and check out the reviews, they may say, all right, tell me what's about, show me how you're going to do stuff. You got a screenplay? I'll read screenplay. Screenplays are at best 120, 130 pages. Now some of these movies are 2 hours, but you hand somebody a 190 page screenplay, man, I know they'll turn around and be like, you need to tell me more, simplify it. So comic books really even help books and screenplays out, because you got a chance to see what the character looks like. You get to see all this stuff that people in reading have to use their imaginations to do. So comic books are beautiful. Now, the downside for that, right? But the downside of comic books is there's such a short story that do you have a full story? Do you have a real story that goes along with it? Some of these black comic books and independent comic books don't, finish the story. So they'll get there. They got 4 or 5 issues, but the story is dragging on because they haven't capped it off. So they still got to come up with a good story. So I'll just round it with this, and that's kind of a rambling rant. But if we really want to see changes on film, we can't just go after the change one way. Supporting the films we want, sure, is good. Crowdfunding, people that are working on films and projects that we're interested in, yes. But also supporting comic books, and even take it a step further. Go on Kickstarter. That's where comic books are getting the money. And support a project on Kickstarter based on what you think the person, what the story is going to be like. And then talk about it and blow it up. So, if you're in a position, like I told my friend, you're a city manager, bring a convention to your city. Libraries, encourage your libraries to do a comic book convention. Fly in somebody that has a lot of properties and can, stand out and attract people. Give a discount to your local creators. All of that helps. Every little bit counts. But the best thing you can do is to read it and like it yourself. Start determining what you like and you don't like. Definitely. That's why I say, like me, I fall on my sword. I be like, people gonna like it or they don't like it, and I know they're gonna like my stories. But that's for everybody. Everybody's gonna like or dislike something. So anyway, that's it. I think I'm gonna call this, how can we, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but anyway, I'm gonna think of something. Thank you. Like and subscribe. I know you're out there. Peace. I appreciate it.